multicollinearity and weighted least square. Okay, so let us start question number 1. So I hope you have gone through the last time notes, and based on those concepts we can perform practicals. The following data set spans the period from like this year to this year. Present the observation on imports. So data is basically it's based on imports data. Okay, gross domestic product, that is your GDP. So we have a import GDP SF. SF means stock information, and we have a consumption. Okay, so these data we have to check whether in this data content we have multicollinearity or not. That much means one question, one understanding, like checking the multicollinearity. So to check the multicollinearity, if you see this data is basically one can very easy to enter it, right? You can enter in one can enter in Excel, and they can either save it as CSV, or you can directly import it. Means whichever way you want you can import, because this is not very big data, right? Hardly maybe I think not more than 25 observations in each column. So one can very easy to enter it, and one can save it. But maybe if the data like maybe this data set is already given, so one can use the data set, there is no problem. So for example, that is a data set. So first you have to store it. So I have written the code for the practicals, so you can just go through that. Question number 1, storing of the data. So we have to use that library. We have to call that library. Then GDP is equal to multicollinearity data. So we have multicollinearity data exists in our folder. So when you just import the data, so let's see how to import the data. Okay. So go to import. Let's say the format. I didn't see in the format. So maybe if the format will be Excel, we can take Excel. Otherwise, we do with the CSV. So you can import it. Maybe it is there. Integration. No, it's not an integration. It is in DYPSC R University Data Practicals. And if you see this, you have multicollinearity data, which is I think in the form of Excel. So you need to import this multicollinearity data, which is in .xls. Okay, so you can directly import it. Once you import it, the data will be look like this. Click on import. Click on import. So as you import, you can see that it will automatically display on console. The code will be display on console, and the data will display on source window. And this data set is named as multicollinearity underscore data. So one can have the data, and then further if you just see that, so always writing of the multicollinearity, instead of that I have done just simply GDP. So I have a GDP data, and based on that GDP data I have stored it in, means my file and data set name is now GDP. So I just run it this. You can view again this GDP. So you can see it is import GDP SF consumption. Okay. Now you have to fit the data. You have to fit the data. You want a summary of the data. You can get the summary of it. So again here you need to create a model as we did in the previous two, you can say SLR and MLR. Exactly same we have to do. Okay, you have to create a model. You have to write it down. What is your R square and overall fit model, right? So that is the basically three things. Again, you have to write it down, and after that you have to check for the multicollinearity. Like for multicollinearity, you have to just call this library MC test. Okay, multicollinearity test, and see how we are checking for multicollinearity. We are checking the multicollinearity among the independent variable. Among the independent variable. So if you see here, your GDP, SF, and consumptions, they are all basically independent variables. So we are checking in multicollinearity is there is a multicollinearity exist or not. Okay. So for that, you have to write GDP underscore means your variable name, again GDP underscore SF means, and GDP underscore your consumption means three variable which is independent. And now we are designing that multicollinearity. How we design? So design may we consider all independent variable which is C bind. C bind means we are combining all. Means I'm just removing that first variable which is my import. Okay, in my data set I have a import variable and rest all. So in removing import, I have created three columns, rest column, and clubbing that I am putting that data set name is design. And now I am applying MP test. Sorry, MC test. So in MC test of which data set? It is design, comma, comma, GDP underscore import, which is your independent variable. Type will be I, means there are different types of like type, so you can go with different type. And method will be VIF. I think you already know what is VIF. It is variation inflation factor, right? That we have seen the chapter. And if you want more help about this MC test, you can just click and just work on that. You can just run this design. You may find this operator, something operator is missing. Mm, you can take the help of MC test, so you may get some understanding regarding the same. Okay. So type will be, you can see there's different types. Design, then we have method, VIF, VIF. So based on 10, like you can see VIF means they are comparing based on 10. If you are considering the CN is another method, like conditional concept there is. So they are comparing with the help of 10. Okay. So that different you can say method where one can use it and get the CIF. Just checking whether uh, let me check in another case whether dependent is correct. No, it is Y. Yeah, it's correct. Then why it is not showing? Dash is a operator. Uh, I think it should work like, because the dollar operator is not atomic vector. They are saying why it is not showing an atomic vector. Just a minute, I'll check.